أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والوالدات يرضين أولادهن حولين كاملين لمن أراد أن يتم رضاء وعلى المولود له رزقهن وكسوتهن بالمعروف لا تكلف نفس إلا وسعها لا تدار والدة بوالدها ولا مولود له بولده وعلى الوارث مثل ذلك فإن أردا فصالا عن تراض منهما وتشاور فلا جناح عليهما وإن أردتم أن تسترضعوا أولادكم فلا جناح عليكم ما آتيتم إذا سلمتم ما آتيتم بالمعروف واتقوا الله واعلموا أن الله بما تعملون بصير. Dear friends, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I recited Surah Al-Baqarah ayat number 233. In this ayat, Allah tells us the rules regulations about the breastfeeding to the young children. So Allah said in this ayat, Wal walidatu. Walidat mean the mothers. Yurdina, so they breastfeed awladahunna to their children. Hawlaini 2 years, kamilan complete. So wal walidatu yurdina. So the mothers they should breastfeed awladahunna to their children. Hawlaini kamilaini full 2 years, complete 2 years. They have to breastfeed to their children or suckle their children. So this is the command of Allah to all mothers that when the childbirth, they after that they have to suckle their children or they have to breastfeed their children up to complete 2 years. So if a woman who has divorced, so for that woman is the command of Allah in the next part of the ayat. Liman arada an yutimma radaa. Liman arada. And for the one who an yutimma radaa, who breastfeed the children. Yutimma mean like complete. Radaa, so the 2 years, like the duration of the suckling or duration of breastfeeding, that is 2 years. If someone decides or intends to complete this one, so this is the command of Allah. If someone who has like child and the child is under the breastfeed, and Allah said if someone mean the dad, if they decide that their child should have to complete 2 years breastfeeding, then because first of all the breastfeeding must be done by the mom, even the mom if she has been divorced. So if she is the person to suckle the child or to breastfeed the child, then Allah said, "Wa alal mauludi lahu rizquhunna wa kiswatuhunna bil maruf." So when the woman she will suckle the child, she will breastfeed the child up to 2 years. So in that duration, Allah said, "Wa alal mauludi lahu," the dad of the child will be responsible to provide the food, wa kiswatuhunna, and the clothing bil maruf to the woman, to the mom. So bil maruf, according to the prevailing Sharia custom and tradition, are mutually where they are agreed. So they have to provide. So the parents, when the mom she is ready, she intends to give the breastfeed to the child up to the whole duration, like 2 years, and then dad is responsible to provide all type of food and clothing the need what the mom she has. So according to the uh, prevailing rules, regulations, or prevailing custom and traditions, so that must be under the limits, like under the capability of the dad, because it should be how much like he earns, like according to his condition, so must be under that duration, under that limits, like that. Then Allah said, la tukallafu nafsun, so it should not be made a burden on anyone, illa wus'aha, but according to their capacity. Like it should not be a burden to the mom or dad, but according to the capacity, whatever they can do. This way Allah said, La tudara walidatun, and don't make the mom to suffer bi walidiha, because of her child. So that is important point. Sometimes if the dad, if if he is not providing all the provisions, or the clothing, and then say to the mom that if you are breastfeeding to this child, because it is also your own son or daughter, so that is this way you are if doing this. So saying this word is not good, because according to the Sharia, what Allah said in this ayat, that the dad, he is the person, he is responsible to provide all the needs, including the clothing and food for the mom, until up till she is to breastfeed the child. So this way the dad has no any uh, authority to say these words, that the mom is because mom is breastfeeding the child, and because that is also the child of the mom. So this way, if she is breastfeeding, so it is no problem, because even if the dad is providing less what is agreed, so that is no good. So it means the payment, or the provisions which have been agreed between the mom and the dad, and within the duration of the breastfeeding, so the dad is it is responsibility of the dad to provide all that of the food and clothing, so up to that time, so must not be anything else. So don't hurt the mom. So that is very important. And even the duration of the time when when the child is under breastfeeding, so dad is not allowed to catch it back or take it back. So the child must be with the mom until the time of breastfeeding completes. So next Allah said, "Wala mauludun lahu biwalidihi," and the dad of the child, and don't make father or the dad of the child into trouble because of his child. So wala mauludun lahu, and don't make the dad into trouble biwalidihi because of his child. So it mean like mom should not ask too much money or too much like food and clothing and something regarding to that one or needs. So should not ask to the dad to charge more money, or because she say, oh, because I'm also breastfeeding to your child, so this is your child, so you have to provide me so much, this much. But she should not, when she has agreed, she has not to disturb the dad. So that is very important also. And here is other one which makes the disturbance for the dad, is that one is like when the child is like becoming sensible little bit. So he should mom should not make her like her mind, make her or his mind away from the dad. So that is also important. So both of them, they should guide the child, or they should upbring the child like with having the concept of respect and respect which is for the parents. So that must be taught to the child also, even if the child is with dad or with mom after the divorce. So the child must be taught that child must be respectful to the dad also, must be respectful to the mom also. So according to the Sharia, what Allah said, what the Holy Prophet ﷺ conveyed the message. So that is very important also. And here is the other thing, that the woman who is breastfeeding the child, so she should not make more burden on the dad because of his child. So she should not ask so many things and because she say, I am breastfeeding your child, you have to provide me so many things, or this and that. So that is not good. So then Allah said, wa alal warisi mislu zalik. If, for example, if the child dad died, and after the death of the child dad, so he becomes orphan, and then that small orphan, he need breastfeeding. So that time, and mm, the parent, like the who are the uh, inherited people, like relatives, like relative of the child, like the granddad, grandmom, or uncle or auntie, or those people. So they have to provide the woman who can breastfeed, or uh, mm, they can find the woman who breastfeed the child. So then they have to pay her like for the food and clothing, or they have to fix the charges for the breastfeed. So that is important. Then they have to pay that one completely to the woman. That is very important point. So then Allah said after that, فَإِنْ أَرَدَ, if both of them, like the mom and dad, if the both of them fisalan mean if they decided on taradan, and if they are agree minhuma, both of them, wa tashawurin, it means with mutual consultation. If the dad and mom with mutual consultation, if they are with mutual consultation, and then what happen, and they are agree, and that they have to make the situation that the child breastfeeding should be stopped now, before the completion of 2 years. So Allah said, "Fala junaha alayhima," and it is not sinful on both of them if they decide about that, or if they decide that they can, they want to stop the breastfeeding, what the for the child, like before the completion of 2 years, if they are agreed, and with mutual consultation, if they agreed with the mutual consent, then if they do that one, no problem. Allah said, "Fala junaha alayhima," it is not sinful upon them. So that is very important. So Allah said it is not sinful upon them also. They are allowed for that. Then Allah said, وَإِنْ أَرَدْتُمْ أَنْ تَسْتَرْضِعُوا أَوْلَادَكُمْ وَإِنْ أَرَدْتُمْ, and if you intended, or if you want to ask any other woman to breastfeed or to suckle your child, أَوْلَادَكُمْ, to your child, like if you, for example, Allah said, if you decided, like you want to that the breastfeeding must be done with some other woman, and this way Allah said, "Wa in aradtum," and if you want, or if you intend that the breastfeeding of your child must be done by some other woman, fala junaha alaykum, then it is not sinful upon you. Iza sallamtum, Allah said, "Iza sallamtum ma ataytum bil maruf." But this is the condition, that "Iza sallamtum," when you are just to pay, ma ataytum. So Allah said, what you pay, just to pay fairly, according to the rules, regulations, or according to the agreed limits, whatever you have done. So you have to pay that one. So just agreed. If you, in this part of the ayat, Allah said, if you decided that, or if you intended that you want the other woman should breastfeed the child, then no problem, it is allowed, you can do it, but you have to fix the charges, how much you will have to pay to that woman, and then you have to pay fairly, gently, and nice way. And if you can do this, then it is not sinful, you are allowed to do that one. And this Allah said this way, "Wattaqullah," and be fear of Allah, and be with the fear of Allah. Wa'lamu, and know, annallaha, that Allah, bima ta'maluna basir, that whatever you see, Allah knows all that. So whatever you doing, Allah is watching that one. So this way Allah said, if even whatever you will do, you will, if you are doing anything about the breastfeeding of the child, Allah knows about that. So this is very important at the end, because the small child who is baby also, so baby is not some, because baby will not go to the court, will not go to any place to have a complaint that they are not giving me food, they are not giving me, just providing me the need. Baby has only the best need of the baby is the milk. So that is the very important need of the child. So that must be given by the parents. And if the parents, they are like, for example, if one parent is divorced, and then she is breastfeeding to the child, then the dad must pay her food and clothing, and also the other needs with the child and the mom she need. But that must be agreed, and so that type of that quantity of or that amount of money must be paid fairly nice way. But if that is other way also, that the woman should not be burden, should not make a burden upon the dad, that he have to pay more than that, because she should not say that now is this I need, this I need, that and this way. So she is not to make the burden upon the dad also. That is also very important point. So this way, very important is this one. If for example they want both of them, like mom and dad, if they decided that within the time duration of 2 years they want to stop the breastfeeding of child before that, due to different reason, like for example the child is when take the breastfeeding, it becomes like no good for that one, it start up of some uh, illness or something, and or some other reason maybe, so then they can decide to stop also the, or maybe the mom becomes pregnant, or then they decide that now the breastfeeding must be stopped, so they can stop also. So that is other reason, so they are allowed to do that one also. So similarly Allah said in this ayat, if they have decided that some other woman can, because she should breastfeed to the child, so they are allowed to do that one also. So but the reason is that one, for example the mom is not able to feed the child because of some reason, like mom's milk is not favorable to the child, that may be the reason, or maybe the child when takes that milk, the mom's milk, it becomes ill or something happened to that one, or there is some other reason which is like maybe possible any other reason. So if there is any reason like relating to that, so then they can decide that they have to find some other woman who can breastfeed the child, and they have to fix the charges how much they will pay to that woman just for breastfeeding the child, so that up to the time the child will be suckling the that woman, so she must be paid like according to the agreed amount. So that is very important. So this way Allah said you have to do it. And this is like a milk is the special thing, and this is the food for the baby. And baby is very important. A baby, because when baby need the food, a baby cries. Allah knows, Allah's angels also knows that the baby need food. So this way the food of the baby is very important. And baby is innocent, he can't go to any place to complain. So this way Allah is watching you, because you have to provide the food for the baby, that is the milk, and the milk of the mom is very important. And mostly people they try to bring the children to the formula milk, or to the the other milk, fresh milk, so that is no good. But first of all, the mom's milk is very important, because the milk of the mom is has, according to the World Health Organization, so they said the mom's milk, it fights against the infections immediately after birth that occupy the child, because mom's milk they work like a vaccine, they work like antibiotics, or they work like the special type of remedy from all type of diseases that can come to the child through virus and bacteria. So if the mom's milk is given from the beginning, from the first day so of the birth, then the child is protected from all types of diseases that start from the virus or bacteria. So that have been proved by World Health Organization also. And similarly, the mom also gets benefit from it when she suckle the child or when she breastfeed the child. So she also gets benefit because she is free. She becomes free from all type of respiratory diseases or illness, or from asthma, from all types of allergies also. But if the mom is not breastfeeding to the child and the milk stays in the mom, in the body of the mom, then mom may be suffering into allergies. That is possible. So this way the mom's allergy finish, moms will not have a like all types of respiratory illness, so because of releasing the milk from her body that is giving to the baby. So that is very important. So this way mom gets also benefit. And also when the child is the baby is small and that is breastfeeding, this breastfeeding up from the mom, it saves the child from air infection, it saves the child from respiratory illness, it saves the child from diarrhea. So it saves the child from different type of other diseases also, and it provides all types of nutritions and vitamins, protein and fat which are needed for the body of the for the growing body of the baby. So everything is there provided in the milk that comes from the mom. So the mom must feed that one to the and to the child also is very important. And one other thing is very important that they found that and through the research, that if the mom's milk, if it is given to the child baby, so it saves the children from all type of dullness, and the child becomes intelligent, and it becomes smart, and also the body of the child becomes balanced. And the best thing that is because of the mom's milk, that is prevention from the SIDS. SIDS means sudden infant death syndrome. So it means the sudden death is not possible to the child if the mom's milk is given to the baby. So for mom also, it also because the other benefit that the mom gets by feeding to the child is this breastfeeding reduces the pregnancy weight, uh, burning extra calories. So that is very important because moms sometimes becomes fat also. The burning of extra calories possible, and smartness of the mom is hidden in breastfeeding to the child. This is very important. It also releases one different type of hormones also, which return the uterus of mom to the normal also. And also it reduces the uterus bleeding after birth also, if she is breastfeeding to the child. So that is very important for the mom also. So this way the child must be given the food and in the form of milk. So this is very important, and Allah tells us in this ayat, you can see at the end Allah said wattaqullah. Wattaqullah mean and must have fear of Allah, because the when you go to buy the food from the shop, you have to pay money. Then after the paying money, then the food becomes halal upon you and you can eat halal food. That becomes a rizki halal for you. But same situation when you think that your child is just taking food in the form of milk from any woman, and then you have to pay for that one, because if she is breastfeeding to your child, and you have to pay that woman at what amount you were agreed. So you have to pay completely, fully, and fairly, because after paying the milk that has gone into the baby's body, that becomes rizki halal, and that will make, and it means you are making the foundation of your baby is on sound basis, like with the rizki halal, and Allah will give you reward for that one. So this way Allah said, wattaqullah, be fear of Allah, walamu, and you must know that annallah bima ta'maluna basir, that what you are doing, Allah is watching that. So this way Allah is watching. So breastfeeding, because when the child need food, so you have to give that one to the child, and must be, because child is innocent, can't say, and and can't fight for food, can't ask anyway. So this way you have to look after child completely and fully. So the life of the child is very important. So Allah is enforcing in this ayat at the end that annallaha bima ta'maluna basir, whatever you are doing, Allah is watching that. So it means you and us, it is the command of Allah that we must pay full attention, and the mom and dad breastfeed the child, and must give the food to the child, and don't be lazy in this situation also. So even if the other woman is giving milk, then the dad must pay money, whatever is agreed, completely and fully, so that the rizki halal or the good milk when the child will get, and its life starting will be on the nice basis, like halal basis. Automatically that child will be in the obedient to Allah and Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and to the parents also, and will have a good start. So that way, this way Allah wants to, for us, that we must look after the child so carefully, and we should not ignore the child. So Allah gave us tawfiq to do that one, so that if you will look after the child, and Allah will give you reward of that one. We pray from Allah that Allah should give us reward and make us to look after child completely and fully. Ameen.